Hey, I'm JP Destiny and I do football content. Today, I'm not going to pretend to be neutral. I'm an Arsenal fan. What we just witnessed in Budapest was the absolute cruelest side of football. Arsenal was just moments away from immortality, but a single penalty blasted over the bar ultimately decided Arsenal's fate and handed PSG its second consecutive Champions League title. I was on my knees praying during the shootout. Seeing Raya save Nuno Mendes' penalty had me absolutely pumped up. Seeing Gabriel's miss broke me. But as painful as this was, we have to talk about Mikel Arteta's tactical gambles, because his lineup decisions completely defined this final. Luis Enrique started the exact same outfield as the one he had in last year's Champions League finals. This was his most trusted lineup. The only difference was Safonov between the sticks instead of Donnarumma, whom they sold last summer. On the other hand, Arteta's starting lineup surprised many people. On defense, Jurrien Timber had recently become fit again to play and was expected to start in his right-back role, but Arteta opted to put Mascara there instead for his physicality against Kvaratskhelia, even though Mascara's primary position is center-back. Mascara was doing a great job until his clumsy challenge on Kvaratskhelia that landed on the back of his calf, giving PSG the penalty and allowing Dembele to step up and tie the game. What confused me even more about this challenge was the fact that Mascara was already on a yellow before this tackle and actually was a little fortunate not to have been sent off. He should have shown much more caution, and I firmly believe that Kvaratskhelia next move, likely a cross, would have been easily handled by Hincapié, Gabriel, or William Saliba, who all played phenomenally. Even though PSG constantly found themselves in that position around the edge of the box throughout the game, they still never managed to get a clear chance to get the ball past Raya. Arteta also chose Miles Lewis-Skelly over Martin Zubimendi to partner with Rice in midfield, and this paid off. Following Kai Havertz's goal in the first half, while PSG was dominating possession and Arsenal was struggling to mount up any orderly attack, Lewis-Skelly was the first player to take initiative in the 13th minute, brilliantly escaping pressure and dribbling past half-field before releasing the ball to Saka on the right wing. Lewis-Skelly was easily the best non-defender for Arsenal this game, and while we were all begging for Arsenal to start taking risks and just going at it, Lewis-Skelly did it. He is also incredibly composed and mature for a 19-year-old, and I believe he should have been given a spot on Tuchel's England World Cup squad. Mikel Arteta then chose Havertz over Gyökeres up front, which also paid off well, as Havertz stayed calm to score just over 5 minutes in after a lucky ricochet. Most of us were expecting Arteta to start Gyökeres because of Gyökeres' primary role this season during Havertz's injury struggles. Even though I love Gyökeres and how he's adapted to Arteta's system and taken on Arsenal's goal-scoring burden this season, I was hoping Arteta would start Havertz. A large part was that I remembered watching him score against Man City in the 2021 Champions League final and trusted that he'd be up to the task again. I also felt like Havertz's more polished and technical link-up play would be more impactful against PSG than Gyökeres' battering ram mentality. These intuitions were right, as Gyökeres frustrated the life out of me this match. He didn't manage to make any sort of impact after coming on, losing the ball constantly due to clumsy touches and loose dribbling. But after all this tactical chess and frustration over 90 minutes, the two teams were still in a deadlock. After 30 more minutes, the scoreboard hadn't changed, but this time, the tension was through the roof, as Rice and Arteta had been booked for arguing with the ref over his decision on Madueke's fall in the box with Nuno Mendes. Overall, this whole situation likely impacted the Arsenal players' focus leading into the shootout, giving PSG a psychological advantage. After a quick transition break, the shootout started. On Arsenal's second kick, Eze's overcomplicated run-up and stutter step only managed to fool himself. Then, David Raya stepped up and saved Nuno Mendes' penalty, leaving me screaming and realizing that Arsenal was still in this. Everyone continued making it until it came to Gabriel, whom Arteta chose to take the fifth. As he walked up, even from my living room nearly 5,000 miles away from the action at the Puskás Arena, I could feel his pressure. I know he imagined skying it in his head. And that nightmare happened. He blasted the most important penalty of his life miles over the crossbar. As an Arsenal fan, I'm completely devastated. As an analyst, I have to ask, why was our center back with no expertise in penalties taking our most critical high-pressure fit penalty? Mikel Arteta's gambles with Havertz and Lewis-Skelly were absolute masterclasses, but his decision to start Mascara cost us the clean sheet, and his penalty shootout order cost us the trophy. What do you guys think? Was Arteta to blame for the shootout order, or did the pressure just get to the players? These questions will haunt Arsenal fans for a long time.